How are you doing out there? Welcome to Farm Talk Friday. It is February 6th, 2026. So that means it's 2626.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
How about that?
How about that, honey?
All right.
Just figuring that out live.
That's right.
Not scripted.
I'm Ken Jordan. This is my beautiful wife, Giovanna. Hi,
Hey,
Angel.
my love.
We are
Not at home.
not in Costa Rica. We are enjoying Art Week in Mexico City and having a terrific time, but we'll be back in Costa Rica shortly. Okay, so, we moved down to Costa Rica about 10 years ago. We've got a small little permaculture farm. It keeps us busy. I used to be in a band called the Crystal Method. Giovanna has an
A
amazing...
nonprofit called Green Wave.
Yes.
And a cute art project, actually, campaign called Permaculture Pinup under Green Wave.
Yeah.
So.
And normally we start the show off by talking about the Farm Talk Friday ad that we post on Facebook before each show. Of course, we didn't do one this week, but we did one last week and we didn't talk about it. So what was that one, honey?
Okay, so I was out at the neem tree. I've been having like a tooth thing.
Let's
Neem.
explain what a neem tree is.
Well, it's a tree, and we call it neem tree.
Well,
and there's medicinal qualities to it, and so I was going into it.
Okay.
Because I was at the neem tree because I wanted to harvest some of the leaves, and often neem is used for mouth issues. So sometimes you'll find it in toothpaste, other oral hygiene products. And I found, even though it has kind of a bitter taste to the leaves, I kind of like it in my coffee. So I was harvesting it to put into my morning coffee. And I saw that it was blooming and it has these really delicate white flowers. And I went to smell them. Wasn't really expecting much. And it was actually beautifully fragrant. And I wished that I could harvest them and make perfume of it.
All right.
I don't know how to do that. So I'm gonna maybe figure that out because this particular neem tree has done very well. And we had one in the past that we planted probably close to 10 years ago that it got to a certain size. I was really excited for it, and then it just died, as it does sometimes. So this one's doing really well. So I'm excited for it. It's probably like 20 feet tall. So hopefully we have it for a long time. And then so I was like showing it with my hand, like the leaf and the delicate little white flowers. But I also had a cotton wick, and this was something that I had created out of our own homegrown cotton. So we have lots of cotton trees, and they grow pretty wild. So I've had some friends recently, and they're like, "Oh my gosh, I want some of these." I'm like, "Here's some seeds, and you could just throw them, and they'll probably grow." Of course, it'll have a better chance if you plant it a little bit, but what I've noticed is that they kind of just grow. So be careful where you put these seeds. And they know how to spread themselves. But they're very beautiful, and the flowers on those trees, they change. Like they're white or pink, depending. And I'm not sure if the flower changes, like the same flower, or if it's just that the plant has like different flowers. You know what I mean? It's like white and pink flowers, or if there's like a change. I haven't been able to figure that one out. So if anyone knows, let us know. But I made the wicks from the cotton. So I'm really excited to continue to do that.
Cool. So when we did our first show of 2026, I had my farm resolutions, my New Year's farm resolutions. One of them was to start growing the potatoes in our potato bags. And so I finally started the first step. So they're not actually growing in the bags yet, but I did the first step where I'm growing we're waiting for the sprouts to come off of our donor potatoes. But actually they call them camote naranja or something like that. They're orange sweet potatoes. I guess they'd be called yams in the States. And super excited about that. And so in about,
But yams and sweet potatoes are different, I think,
yeah, well,
aren't they?
no, yeah, they're different. The ones are the,
But you think that we have what? The orange sweet potatoes or yams?
oh, I don't
You
know
know
if
what I
there,
mean?
I don't know if there is a thing that is orange sweet potatoes that's different from yams. I don't know. We'll have to.
I
go
never
into
thought
world.
that there was, but then I thought that we had discovered that there
Oh,
was a difference.
Maybe so. Listen,
We're gonna
I'm going to be
figure
learning
this out.
about that. Yeah, so I'm excited about that. That's finally starting. Also, I would like to say that Mexican mangoes are super delicious. So we have great mangoes in Costa Rica. There's two main kinds. The ones they call mangoes, one they call mangas. One's called mangos, one called mangas. Mangas are the really big ones. Mangos are the normal sized ones, normal for us. And they have a great taste, wonderful taste. And there's kind of like a sharpness to it, like a citrus kind of element to it. But I noticed the Mexican mangoes are just super sweet and delicious and don't really have that sharp bite to it.
Well, that was a variety that I had never seen before.
Well, my brother would tell you, my brother Tony, who is former produce extraordinaire, he would talk about the Mexican mangoes.
Oh, you would?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, all I know is that there's several varieties of mangoes, and a friend of our architect, we went over to his house, and he had 11 different types of mangoes growing at his house in Costa Rica. So we have two varieties. One is called Tommy, and the other one's called Julie. Unfortunately, our Julie tree mangoes, like, rare. Like, we haven't had like a big flush of those. So I'm looking forward to those because I don't remember the difference in the taste. But we've had a hard time previously with worms getting into the big guys. Good thing they're so big, you can cut around them. But we've had much more success putting those jewelry bags around them that they call agricultural bags. Or maybe the jewelry people stole it from the agriculture industry. I don't know. But it's kind of like this material we put around things. Anyways, I'm wearing this because of the Art Week. And my mom actually watches the show, and she gave this to me. And so if you like this and you're, friends with her, then hit her up because she has more that she would love to sell you, I'm sure. So, and they're cute. I could have taken like 10 of them. Anyway.
Do you have something else on your list there?
Oh, yeah. Okay. So there was... I'm all wanting to name our moons. People have been into it. Like, oh, we're on the wolf moon now. It's like, well, that's cool, but we don't have wolves where we live. So let's work with our own magic environment and pay attention to what's happening where we live, so that we know what's going on. What?
Well, but they're just names. They're like
no, but they're not just names.
They're established names.
But they're not.
For
But
the
but it had to do with the indigenous people paying attention to their environment and
Okay.
saying the wolves are coming in. Let's name it Wolf Moon or something. It's not just a name typically for these things. So it's like they.
No, but I'm saying they have names already. So why are we coming up with new names?
Because the idea behind naming the moons for indigenous people that pay attention to the land and their environment, is that they're naming it so they know what to harvest or what is coming up to be harvested.
Okay.
So that's why.
All right.
So do you want to hear my name for it?
I do.
Okay, I was calling it the Mulberry Jab Jab Moon. So the mulberries were finally ready, and so we've been eating them. So, yeah, you can laugh. But
I love the mulberry jab.
well, it was a hard pick, right? Because if I'm just saying, oh, it's the mulberry moon because it sounds nice and the mulberries are going off, that's cool. But also Gavilana that I called Jab because it's called Jackass Bitters. So like I'll make us Jackass Bitter tea. I used to make an infusion and I had a club called Club Jab. And I would get everyone to try and ingest this because we're supposed to be trying to rid ourselves of parasites in this tropical environment that we live in at least like twice a year, if not quarterly. And we would take it, and it's really, really bitter, Jackass Bitters, and we would go jab jab, jab jab. Yeah. So jab jab has to do with the Gavilana plant, aka Jackass Bitters, and they've just been shooting up and like they have their yellow flowers, and I'm like, oh, you guys want to be noticed and recognized too. So Mulberry Jab Jab Moon is the last full moon that we just experienced.
All right. Fantastic.
Let it be known. That's
let it be known.
That's just in our area of Costa Rica. So
Okay.
maybe pay attention to what's happening in your area, and then name your moon cycles off of what you're experiencing.
All right.
That's the idea behind it. Don't just go with some established name that has nothing to do with your little microclimate or geographical area.
All right. Okay. Thanks, everyone, for tuning in this week. We'll see you next week on Farm Talk Friday.
Have a great weekend.